What's up guys, this is Tampatec, and if you're interested in making your own virtual pinball machine out of your arcade cabinet, watch this video. If it helps you out, give me a big thumbs up. You could do it also for your Legends Ultimate Arcade. If you don't have one, they sell for $500 at Sam's Club and $600 at Walmart. Now, currently I'm also working on this Vizio TV that has no power. I'm trying to get it working, and I'm going to produce that video once I get it working. Now back to the Legends Ultimate Arcade. I'm going to start off with number one. My favorite mod is the Virtual Pinball Mod. With the Virtual Pinball Mod, I have to include the Pixelcade. Now this Pixelcade display is a dot matrix, and it works great with Virtual Pinball. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I set this up. First thing you have to do is update your Legends Ultimate Arcade. Then you want to go down to version in settings and make sure you have the latest version. I have version 4.13.
So Pixelcade works for Sam's Club and Walmart version. You just simply mount it on, screw it in, and then take that tinted glass, plexiglass, and make sure you're facing in the right direction, and that screws on using the machine screws provided by Pixelcade. Now in the back, you have to remove the back cover on the arcade cabinet and run the power cable and the USB cable for the Pixelcade. Make sure you switch the back of the Pixelcade to USB mode. Right here I'm drilling a hole for my HAP style arcade buttons, and then slide in the control deck, make sure it lines up perfectly, and then drill through the control deck as well. Using a hole saw makes a clean cut. I'm using a 32mm hole saw. The HAP buttons are 30mm. See the links below. I bought them on Amazon. And you want to do the same thing for the other side. Right here under the control deck, I'm wiring the buttons, and I'm just jumping the buttons to player 1 buttons. So the right flipper button is going to be soldered to the C button, well really the micro switch tabs, and the left flipper button is soldered to the Z button, and the launch button is soldered to the A button. I'm using speaker wire and tinning the wire tips. It helps with the process. The solder I'm using is a leaded rosin core solder, 6040, I believe. Now right here on the bottom of the control deck, you want to make access holes so you can screw on the HAP arcade buttons, or you could cut across and make another access door where you could take those screws off and take off that second half of the panel to remove the buttons or install the buttons. Right here is a little tricky. I slide my hand into the access hole with that plastic nut and screw on the HAP arcade button. The micro switch is going to just hang from the access hole, and then you want to pop on the micro switch.
Alright, next thing you want to do is select OTG mode and hit A. And what you need is these cables. One is a type A to type A USB cable. These are just 3-foot cables. And the second is the HDMI cable. So I want to plug my USB cable into the left USB port. It has to be the left USB port or else this will not work. And then the HDMI goes to the left of that. And I'm plugging it into my laptop, the HDMI, and USB right here in my laptop. Now there's two ways to do this. You can have it hardwired to the home arcade, which gives you 0 latency, or you can stream it from your PC using the ArcadeNet app and stream it locally from your PC to the AtGames arcade. That works also, but you'll have some latency. If you don't have any latency, then I suggest hardwiring the cables to your home arcade. Alright, next you're going to switch to HDMI 2. Now the next three things you're going to need is you're going to need Steam Download Steam is free, and download Pinball FX3 is also free. You get 1 table for free, but there's also a care package that you get a few more tables for free until April 8th, so jump on that quickly. You're also going to need the download from pixelcade.org, and that download is called Pinball DMD. Don't get it confused with Pixelcade setup file. That is to have the display show your favorite arcade titles. The Pixelcade Pinball DMD file is a program that runs on your laptop, and basically it's integrated with Pinball FX3 to show the DMD, the dot matrix display in the game, to show up here. Basically your high score will show up here and all the animations that are in the game. On the back of the Pixelcade, you have to select USB mode. There's a switch, and you move that from Bluetooth to USB mode and pull out the USB Bluetooth adapter and plug in the Type A to Type A cable. You want to plug it into your laptop program. Let's see if I did it correctly. So I have that plugged into, so I have 3 cables plugged into my laptop. One for the Pixelcade, one for the control deck, and one for the HDMI for my At Games arcade. Then you want to go into the gear setting and go to interface and make sure start Steam in big picture mode. You have to have that selected or else your control deck won't work. Now if you can't get the control deck to work on Steam, here's a little trick you have to do, is you have to unplug the OTG cable. Make sure you're still in OTG mode on the home arcade. And then you can take an Xbox One or Xbox 360 controller, make sure it's a USB wired controller like this one, and plug it into your laptop. That's going to trigger it to show up right here, and then click on define layout, and then go ahead and just go through all these, and then you want to go ahead and save it. I'm going to name this 360, and it's a 360 controller, third party 360 controller, but that would work also. Hit yes. Alright, so that shows up right there. At this point, you want to unplug it. So this is unplugged. And then the OTG cable going to the Legends Ultimate Arcade. That's plugged in right here. And then let's go ahead and plug it in. So it should detect it. It sees it as an Xbox 360 controller, basically. And it should work, and it does. The guide button checked, PlayStation check because I have a PlayStation controller, Xbox check, and generic gamepad checked. And it shows up right here as 2 because you got 2 controllers on the control deck. Plug in the Pixelcade cable before you start the program. Make sure all the cables are plugged in before you start any programs. From here, you're gonna hit back, and then start your game. But you don't want to start the game in Steam. You want to start it, alright, and Pixelcade for Pinball FX3. Select that, and you can just select it right here. This should black out, and it does, and that lets you know that it's actually working. Because once you enter the game, it's going to display the dot matrix. And then you want the dot matrix to be on a default setting. We're going to go to Options, and go to Controls, and we're going to select Xbox, and you want the flippers to be LB, RB. Now the controls are now working. I'm going to use these controls to navigate, and then these controls right here to play the game.
My collection.
I'm going to play White Water, one of my favorites.
Single player
And it should show up right here, hopefully, and it does. It looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. And if At Games ever makes a deluxe version for Legends Ultimate Arcade, I hope they include Pixelcade in that deluxe version, because it makes this look so much more premium and more entertaining, because it's actually part of the gameplay. As you can see, super cool. I think the screen is plenty big enough for a deluxe version, and the stereo speakers. The control deck, I would like to see their new control deck their 2020 control deck. And At Game's new control deck actually has 8 buttons per player, which is better than the 6 buttons per player over here. And they have the 2-side flipper buttons. So it's already set and built for Virtual Pinball. Go ahead and start the game. Now you hit X to change the mode. I like 1W. So view mode 1W. It gives you a nice angle. And the A button is to launch. Now if you hold down the A button, the launch button right here, then it gives you an extra boost. If you guys are interested in the Pixelcade, it goes for around $250. There's a coupon code. It's a limited coupon code. Check out the links in the video description below. Also, At Game's Legends Ultimate Arcade goes for around $500. You can check out that link in the video description below. If this video was informative, give me a big thumbs up. If you know anyone that's into gaming that may find this video interesting, click on the share button below, share this video to them, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to stay updated on the latest tech videos. Later, guys.